Good evening everybody, Calm Biker here. Out on a, well, interesting Wednesday evening. We're off to the bike night. It has been a nice day, or night-ish. It's been kind of grey and then sunny and then grey and then sunny. The car's got the bike out so it started raining now. Just checking behind me because we've got Chris behind me and behind him we got Graham. Not been out for a ride with Graham for a little while. He's been on holiday and bad weather and whatnot. So there's three of us going out for a ride, fill in another lane or two and go and get a brew at Seaways and have a look at the bikes. I've just finished editing a video that I'll probably put live when I get back tonight. And it's the one where I went out with Chris and managed to get lost about 10 miles from home. We weren't really lost, but we got to a closed road and I thought there was a nice easy way around, but it turned out there wasn't. We ended up out in the middle of nowhere at a substation. It was quite interesting to look at, I thought. And for the first time I've used a new bit of software on that video, so hopefully you'll have noticed a sound improvement, hopefully. I've started using a piece of software that many of you will probably have heard of already called Audacity to try and do a bit of the wind noise removal, because I do everything I can to limit wind noise in the helmet, but ultimately there's the noise of the wind rushing past the helmet that the microphone picks up, and no dead cat or wind muff or anything is going to stop that. So I thought I'd try Audacity. So now I've got an extra step to the editing process, where before I do any of the actual video editing, I use Audacity to pull the audio out of the video, then identify a bit where there's excessive wind noise, and use the wind noise reduction tool, which I have to say works remarkably well. So you give it this sample of wind noise and say that's what I don't want, and then you tell it to apply a reduction in that to the rest of the audio. And I mean, it's not perfect, but then I wouldn't want it to be perfect. If you couldn't hear any wind noise and any bike noise, it'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? But it certainly seemed to clear it up quite a lot. And the video I put up before that, somebody had actually commented on the sound being better. I think it was Mr. Oz Adventure, which I was quite pleased with. Thank you for that. But obviously I've still been playing with it. You'll know that since then I put up other videos, but you know, I was trying to play with it on the Z1000 and whatnot to clean it up. It is that thing. I do far too many videos about trying to get my audio right, but it is the most important thing, I think, on a video, which is crazy when you think about it. People will put up with poor quality video, but not with poor quality audio. Still putting the little fact in the corner as I go on these rides. Some of the villages I've started to miss out though. I think some of them I've done before, so I found myself looking up facts and thinking, oh, I thought I knew that already. Then realising I've been here before and already used that particular fact on a video. Blooming things. Well, that's a spoiler for the ride. It's a spoiler, isn't it? That's a proper puncture, isn't it?
Yeah.
To find out what's done it first.
Yeah.
There it is. This tyre's only got, well, less than 1,000 miles on it.
Oh, well, you can see, can't you?
Yeah. I hope I hope it'll repair. Alright, next step, gummy worm. I've never used a gummy worm one before. Apparently I have to push that in though. Go blimey.
It will resist.
But you have bits stuck out. I had to do it for Graham.
Yeah. It's going, that's it.
That's it.
You're there.
And then pull it out.
Straight away, or do you leave it a bit?
No, we pulled it out. We didn't put it right in, but we had some left out.
Yeah.
We trimmed it off.
So push one tire into the hook, fold in, blah blah blah, push tyre, hold angle until half the seal remains outside the tyre, turn hook tool a quarter turn and pull out slowly.
Oh, we yanked it out and it came off, didn't we?
That's what happens when it stops working, doesn't it? That's when you really go for it. So turn it a quarter, pull it out slowly. Come on, you know you want to.
No, this is where you have to yank it.
Oh, dear. You were right, I had to yank it.
Over he goes.
Oh, there you go then, that's finished, is it?
So then you just trim the ends off with your shaft.
Oh, I thought you just rode around like you had a bit of dog crap sticking out your tyre forever.
No, all we have to do is find another 5 holes.
That's the problem, isn't it? If I brandish this like this, will I get demonetised on YouTube?
I'm a trade, mate. Don't come up me with that little thing.
It's hardly a bayonet, is it?
It's the new North Korean wonder weapon.
It does look like a cat's done something on my bike.
It's vegan, so don't worry.
Does it turn off by itself?
I think it would, yeah.
It doesn't just keep going and then you look around and your tyre's like this big.
Dunlop, man. Mixing that
When you see the cams on it.
It's at 38 psi, so it's sealed, isn't it? I mean, it might still have a slow one somewhere. I'm going to have to remember to leave it on its centre stand just in case it goes flat, because I have it to the left of the Z and I want it to go flat and then keel over into the Z. That would be bad.
Right.
Hey! It stopped early. Oh no, there you go. Hey! So, one unexpected pit stop later. I borrowed Chris's pump to pump it up rather than using the carbon dioxide thing. I wanted to use the carbon dioxide things, to be honest. I wanted to go whoosh. But he goes, don't use them, use one of these. So that's what I did. It did pump up. Pumped up to 40.5, which is what it's supposed to go to. And we did not notice it then dropped to 39.5, which is a little bit of a worry, but that might just be the pump. So I'm going to carry on, grab a cup of tea, then check the pressure again before we head back. So not that far from home, so it's not a big deal. Check the pressure before I head back, maybe pump it up again, and then it'll be one of my weekend jobs. Because this weekend I've got a few jobs to do in it. I've got to do the coolant, the oil and filter, the chain and sprockets, I've got a new one, brake fluid, some general servicing checks, and I guess now I need to get that tyre off and see if there's anything inside and repair it properly. Bit of a nuisance, but handy that we can just fix it like that by the side of the road. I was trying to work out how many punctures I've had in my motorcycling career, which is about a dozen years long, and I think I've had one in the Z750R, one in the old Honda CB500X, one in this Honda CB500X, and 3 in the Z1000. I've not had a lot of luck with the Z1000 and punctures, and every puncture I've ever had has always been in the rear tyre, which I think is more common because the front tyre lifts up the sharp thing and then it can pop a hole in the rear. I am now nervous on the bends. They're all gravelly too, which doesn't help. When it first went squishy at the back end on me when I was riding, then I thought it was just because I was going through the gravel, but I guess it's because something in the gravel was sharp. I don't know why, but the beeline decided it wanted me to go through a meditation centre. Maybe it thought I was stressed after the tyre ordeal, but no, I think I can cope. We're now running quite late though, so Graham knows the direct route, so we're going to follow him rather than filling in the last couple of lanes that I'd planned. Because otherwise, as in the video I was editing earlier actually, we won't get to Seaways before the bike night finishes. It does mean for the end of the ride you get to see Chris's new Trumpet. That's his Triumph Tiger 900. Very nice thing it is too. And it's red and black, so apparently it's called the Ladybird, which to me is king of the hill. Ladybird. I still haven't found a name I like for this bike. The Flying Strawberry was such a good name for the old one. The Trundling Tomato, or whatever I called it, is not. Well, I can't remember if it was Trundling. It tells you how much that name sticks. Are these 5 winning, or have they gone the wrong way? My favourite types of hill, these lovely rolling hills. It's a nice little woodland walk in there. It's only a short one, but quite nice inside that little woodland there. That's Millington Wood. You can ride into it as well, but only to a car park. You can't ride through or anything. And here we are. We've arrived. And I don't think I've got a flat tyre. And we've got an entire 20 minutes to get a brew. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Tiger. Sorry?
Is it still round?
Hey, it is at the top.
Good.
It never went flat at the top.
Never do that.
Oh no. It won't be a problem then, would it? Because it's not touching the road.
It's flat at the top and not at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, it's looking better than it looked at the side of the road, isn't it?